I wish I could say that by 36 I achieved everything I wanted and now I'm just looking for something new. But that's only partially true. I've always been a very ambitious person. I think all or nothing describes me quite well. And to be fair, that mindset helped me a lot. I built an international career. I became an HR executive in my late 20s, graduated from one of the top UK universities. I bought my own property and I moved to Germany from Central Asia. So, in many ways, I did achieve a lot of what I once wanted. But at the same time, not everything feels complete. I'm in my mid 30s, I'm single, I still depend on my job to sustain my life. And that made me pause because I realized achievements and freedom are not exactly the same thing. Corporate life gave me a lot, especially in my 20s and early 30s. It was exciting. Every role pushed me to grow. Managing projects, working across cultures, learning how organizations actually function. And I genuinely believe that it's one of the best environments to build a strong foundation, skills, discipline, and network. So I don't regret that at all. But something started to change the higher I moved. And I don't think people talk about this enough. The higher you go, the less it's about just doing your job well. It becomes more about navigating people, office politics, relationships, expectations. So you need to build alliances, you need to choose when to speak, and most importantly, when not to. And sometimes you have to operate in environments that are not fully aligned with your values. And for me personally, that started to feel difficult because I value honesty, autonomy, speed, and fairness. And I noticed that in order to grow further, I would need to adapt in many ways that didn't feel natural to me. Not dramatically, but subtly. And over time, that creates tension. And you start asking yourself, is this really the version of myself I want to become long term? And another thing that I started thinking about is dependency. Because no matter how successful you are in corporate, your growth, your income, your opportunities, they are still tied to the company's situation. And just to be clear, this is not me saying corporate is bad. As I mentioned, I actually think it's a great environment at certain stages of life. But I also think that continuing to grow within it requires a very specific mindset and certain trade-off. And I think I've reached a point where I'm asking myself honestly, do I want to continue on this path exactly as it is? Or do I want to explore something different while I'll still have the time and energy to do it? And maybe that's why I created this channel. Not because I have all the answers, but because I want to document this phase of my life honestly. And this phase is about redefining what success means and building more freedom and figuring out what a meaningful next chapter looks like in my mid 30s. I don't have a perfect answer yet, but I think that this question is important. And because sometimes your life looks successful, but internally you know you are ready for a different direction. And maybe recognizing that honestly is the beginning of a new chapter.